Hello and welcome to the AHRI video update. I'm Nicole Snyder, the Communications Coordinator at AHRI, and with me today is Cade Clark, our Vice President of Government Affairs. On Friday, AHRI, along with some of its industry partners, requested a hearing at the House Subcommittee of Energy and Power, and our President and CEO, Stephen Yurek, testified on AHRI's behalf at that hearing. So today, Cade is with us to talk a little bit more about the background and next steps since that hearing. So Cade, can you start us off and tell us why did we request this hearing in the first place?
That's a good question, Nicole. As you mentioned, we did go in with our other allies, which are AHAM and NEMA, and we went in to request a oversight hearing of EPCA. Mm-hmm. And EPCA, as you know, is really the authority that Congress set out to DOE to regulate energy efficiency. And this program, EPCA, is 40 years old, and we feel that it's time for it to be refreshed. There's some issues within EPCA that need further updating. There's equipment now that is in existence that wasn't here 40 years ago, and it really just needs some updating.
And how would those updates and that refresh really help our industry?
Another good question. The H.R. 8, which is the House Energy bill, currently has some technical corrections in it, which would address in the short term some of the issues that we've had with EPCA. In the House bill right now, in the technical corrections, the test procedures need to come out before the NOPR. And there's some other issues in there which we feel provided some help for us in the short term. Mm-hmm. But for a longer term perspective, one of the things that we brought up in the hearing was the need for fixing serial rulemaking. And serial rulemaking is just the issue that Congress has mandated that DOE review these rulemakings every 6 years. And just as we have rulemaking after rulemaking, our companies are caught in a true regulatory burden. And so we're looking for finding a way to move forward so that the 6-year mandatory review that burden can be lessened for our companies.
And how did the subcommittee respond to all these points that we told them in our testimony?
I think there was a lot of interest in the issues that we brought up. One of the issues that we did bring up was the cost to consumers, and I think there was a lot of interest on both sides of the aisle in the impact that regulations do have on consumers. Mm-hmm. I think that there was interest in having further dialogue, especially both sides of the aisle had requested having DOE come in and further talk about this issue. So I think it brought up a lot of different issues for both sides, as I said, and there's definitely an appetite for further discussion.
Do we have any plans for next steps then with that interest?
Next steps, there was a request from both sides of the aisle to see some legislation on what proposals would be for reforming of EPCA. Mm-hmm. And so I think that will be something that folks will see here in the near future.
Well, thanks so much for talking with us today, Cade.
Thank you.
And please stay tuned for the next AHRI video update.